Good afternoon, guys, and happy, what's today? Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. This dog, you gonna give me a kiss? Thank you. He's so sweet. And honestly too, Charlie will give kisses, but he does not like to give kisses. He protests them all the time. Like if you're like, Charlie, give me a kiss, he like and he makes the, you guys heard his little noise that he made? He makes those kind of noises all the time, just like that one I was making and he made just before that. He did it again, guys. He knows I'm talking about him. Hi, Mr. Bean, what do you want? Do you want to give me another kiss? Thank you. He's so gentle too. He's just like you can give me another one? No, you done? Sorry guys, the battery in my camera was running out and I needed to replace it. The dog is still trying to. You gonna give me another kiss? Thank you. He's so cute. Anyways, guys, their toys are all over my bed right now too. Like seriously, they're all over the place. And then too, guys, do you see how gigantic this body pillow is? Like, it is so stinking fluffy. And now that I actually have a body pillow that's not like almost non-existent, I've been actually using 3 pillows when I sleep, and I don't know why, guys. I've actually been not sleeping better, but I feel like, I don't know, more comfortable when I'm like sleeping. Like I'm actually like, yeah, I guess more comfortable, because this thing is like huge, and I had like a little one that was next to it, but now that I'm not using, like on the side over here, but now that I'm not using it, I've got it underneath and I'm laying on all 3 pillows when I sleep. Although I kind of pull them down so it's more like gradual, but I feel like it helps like keep me like sleep more straight up. But then at the same time too, it helps support like my back. So it's not like my neck is just like I'm sleeping like this, you know, and like my neck has no support because I'm like doing it more gradual, if that makes sense. So I'm sleeping more on an incline than just having my head like, you know, underneath pillows like that, sort of. But I feel like I've been sleeping better because of it. And honestly, guys, too, I've noticed like for a while, at least more recently, like I've always noticed sort of like acid reflux, but I feel like especially more recently, like I've gotten that like a lot, like when I'm laying down, and I've noticed it, like it's been very common for probably the last few months, really. And so I feel like that's maybe been helping a little bit too. You're gonna give me another kiss? He's too busy scratching himself. But yeah, guys, there's like toys all over the place. Honestly, guys, the dogs really love this little guy that Matthew got them, because they don't like toys with like stuffing in them. Well, I mean, they like toys with stuffing in them, but because he's like flat already, he like doesn't have stuffing other than like in his head, really. They like little toys, and like they like the scraps of like toys like from the fabric of them, and so they'll like tear things down just to the point where they're like, you know, flat, and don't have any stuffing in them anymore, but they just like to chew on like the little scrap pieces of like whatever toy. So they've actually been really liking this, and obviously they've gotten well into it, and chewed up several pieces of it. And then too, these were the ones I think I told you guys we gave them on Christmas Eve, and they've already chewed through. There's no squeaker left in any of them, or I don't know if it was the squeaker or if they were just, I think they were just the ones that like, if they don't have holes in them, it'll still squeak like through the bottom. But yeah, there's been holes chewed in all 3 of them, because we got one for all 3 of the different dogs. So they've liked that. Plus they've also really liked, I'm actually surprised because they don't like to really chew on tennis balls, but they've chewed a hole in this one and have been really into this one too, because it's like a rope and like a tennis ball. So Prof's like, you're moving all my toys. They have been into their toys and they've been liking them, but after they chewed the squeaker out of these ones, like they've hardly been interested, or like, you know, chewed them to where they're not squeaking anymore, and I just hit myself in the head with them. They have not really been interested in these like plasticky ones. But it's weird though too, because I feel like they go through phases where they're like, ooh, I'm super into like chewing this toy, and then they're like, no, not anymore, and then they go back and then they're like, now I'm super into chewing like this thing, or whatever. It's just kind of whatever they have. Like, they'll completely forget about something, and then like, you know, I'll pull it out from underneath my bed, and then they're like, wow, it's a brand new toy, and then they get all excited and start chewing on it again. So they're like little kids, you know. Like, my mom used to always, when I was little, I remember too, she would like rotate my toys, which I guess is like a thing. And like, you know, she'd leave down like, you know, certain toys or whatever, and then she'd put like some of them away in the closet or whatever, and then she'd get them back down for me, like, you know, when I was, you know, wasn't paying attention to them or whatever anymore, and she'd bring them back out and they were like brand new toys again, you know, because it'd been like, you know, a few weeks probably that I hadn't seen them, and so I'm like, oh wow, these are brand new toys, like I didn't even know I had it, or didn't remember I had it or whatever. And so then the ones that I was consistently playing with, unless it was like a favorite toy or like a favorite like group of toys or whatever, you know, she'd like put them away and then take them back down or whatever, so that I wasn't like always playing with like the same ones. I remember her doing that with Matthew. With Jack never like experienced that, but I remember like a lot of times like my mom going into my closet like and getting out, like even when I was like little, I mean like had to have been younger than 5 years old, because I know Matthew wasn't born yet. Like, I can remember her always going into my closet and being like, here, we're gonna play with these toys or whatever now. But we also used to store a lot of my toys under my bed, so like dress-up toys or something like that. I remember because I got it, I think maybe for my birthday or for Christmas or something like that one year, but it was actually in a like purple box with polka dots on it. It used to have all my dress-up toys in it, and I still remember this like really well. But like, you know, that was one thing I think that was normally underneath my bed, and so my mom would like take that out or whatever, just kind of like rotate toys and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know why it was like in like a purple polka dotted box, and I think it was like because I got it for like Christmas or my birthday, and so we just kept it in that, like, it was like a box, it wasn't like a bin or anything like that. And the rest of all my stuff was like organized underneath my bin in like totes. And it's so funny too, because my mom, I feel like, used to be really organized, at least from like what I remember, because the same bed I have now is the same bed I had when I was little, and so there's like a good amount of storage underneath the bed, because it's much higher up off the ground. It's like sort of raised, and so I remember like her like putting stuff underneath my bed, but it was all in like totes with like, you know, like the totes with the white lids, those little small like Sterilite or whatever they're called bins. And you know, there's a lot of storage underneath there even now. That's where I store a lot of stuff. And so but I just remember her like being really organized. Like all of my toys were like separated into like different, you know, like organizing, like ways to organize them and stuff like that. And like she was really organized. And then I remember with Matthew, like she was still kind of organized, and then with Jack it was like, nope, not at all. Like there was like his toys lived in the living room, like he like never, like all this stuff I remember like my mom doing with me, like she never did with like Jack, like, you know, like organizing and like taking care of things like wise. But I guess that's what happens after like you have 3 kids, like you're not as organized anymore. Like I remember her kind of being organized, but like it wasn't consistent, like at least. And it's weird too, because I can't say like, oh well when I was little, but like I don't necessarily remember everything, but like I really don't ever remember like my toys being like left out. Like Jack's would always be like every night, like if I didn't clean up my toys, like my mom would end up, you know, or my dad or whatever would clean them up. But like the living room was like never a mess, and it never had toys in there. Like when Jack was little, which is the house now that we live in, when Jack was little, whereas when I was little we lived in a different house. But like there was like a bookshelf sort of, and it had like all of his like drawer like sort of toys. It's actually all of the bins that are in my room right now, you guys. Those bins up there actually used to have all Jack's toys in them when he was little, but now my mom she doesn't use them anymore now that I have them, but she used to keep all of Jack's toys like in there in the bookshelf. And so there was like an attempt to have organization there, but like I remember like almost every single night, like, you know, like we'd go to bed and like it wouldn't be cleaned up in the morning like Magic Fairy. You know, like his toys would just be left out if he didn't like clean them up the night before or whatever. But like I said, when I was little, like I remember like the house always seemed like it was just spotless. But again, that's probably because they only had one angel child that was me. But yeah, so anyways guys, I don't even know where I went with all that, but yeah, I guess having a dog is pretty much like having kids. I don't clean up after them. Like they gotta learn how to clean up after themselves. But honestly guys, they have a little bin full of toys in the living room that's theirs, and I feel like especially after this Christmas we need a stinking like another big bin or something like that, because like they go into it though guys. It's so cute because sometimes we'll push it like underneath one of the tables because it fits just perfectly underneath there, and so every once in a while, like if it's been under there for a while, we'll pull it back out and they'll forget about the toys, you know, and it's kind of like that whole like toy rotation thing. They'll forget about them and then they'll get all excited when they see them again. So you know, it's just, yeah, they probably, some of these toys can go in there and then take some of the old ones out that they haven't seen in a while also. But yeah guys, I've just been doing the, you know, the after Christmas, like several day after Christmas, you know, just kind of like relaxing kind of thing. And I completely forgot that tomorrow's Saturday, because obviously the last few days I haven't remembered because people have been home and been working and stuff like that. And so tomorrow's Saturday, but I'm not going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to try and do that on Sunday. So that would be the plan. But I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe. And I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.